Hey guys, please don't scroll, you need to hear this. So right now I'm doing a challenge of reading the Bible in 90 days, and I'm using a Bible app called YouVersion, and helps me guide me through the days. Basically I'm reading 3 books at the same time. So I'm reading Genesis, Job and Matthew at the same time. And one of these days I was reading Job and something struck me out, Job and Matthew. So in Job chapter 9, verse 5 to 8 says this. This is Job talking about Yahweh. He says, He, Yahweh, who removes mountains and they know it not, when he overturns them in his anger, who shakes the earth out of its place and its pillars tremble, who commands the sun and it does not rise, who seals up the stars, and now watch this, who alone, Yahweh alone, stretched out the heavens and trampled the waves of the sea. And I found this interesting. But then I went to Matthew, and Matthew 14, and you probably know where I'm going with this. Matthew 14, I'm going to read from the middle of verse 23 to the middle of verse 26. It says this. When evening came, he was there alone, but the boat by this time was long away from the land, beaten by the waves, for the wind was against them. And in the fourth watch of the night, he, talking about Jesus, came to them walking on the sea. But when the disciples saw him walk on the sea, they were terrified. So the important part here is walking on the sea. And then we see in Job that Yahweh alone is the one that trampled. Trample means to tread, to crouch. It's not a slow walking, it's like marching. So Yahweh alone is the one that marches over the waves of the sea. And then we see Jesus walking on the sea. And I was like, okay, this is very interesting because this is showing that Jesus clearly is Yahweh. But I wanted to go deeper. So I went to the original language of the books. So trample, like I said, in Job 9:8, trample means to tread, to crouch. And then I went to the Hebrew translation of Job, and the word is darak. Darak means to tread, crouch, to march. So it's not a slow walking, it's a marching, stamping down the sea. And then I went to the Greek translation of Matthew, and the word is peripateo. The translation is walking, but if peripateo is like 2 words together, the word peri and the word pateo. Peri means about, and pateo means tread, trample, or crush. So this shows that Jesus was not only slow walking on the sea. Jesus was like Yahweh, was trampled, tread, or crushing. He was marching like Yahweh. And I was like, wow, the Bible is amazing. So with this, of course, the conclusion is that Jesus is Yahweh.